and welcome back to In Focus, the show where we discuss how creative outlets allow individuals to manage their mental health and share their stories. In this episode, we'll be talking about the media industry and working abroad. To talk with us about this is Sofie Mawdsley-Smith. So NCS played a big part in your teenage years, so could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so if you don't know, NCS is the National Citizen Service. It's a programme available to school leavers, aged 16 to 17. For me, it was just, something different to do in my summer. I guess kind of like go to summer camp. For me, it was, okay, let's do NCS, I left school, I did that. For me, that was, probably changed my life for the better. And everyone always thinks I'm being really over-exaggerated when I say that, and honestly, I really don't know where I'd be without NCS. But I've done so much work with NCS over the years from, in the last 5 years since I took part in the original programme. So I used to be part of the Regional Youth Board with NCS, so I would be one of the representatives of Lancashire, so I represented the Fylde Coast and Preston, and I would go to a Regional Youth Board meeting, where other young people from Manchester, Liverpool, Cumbria and Lancashire would all meet, and we'd have meetings about how NCS is, where NCS could go, the future of NCS, really big things that at 16, 17 you don't expect to be talking about with other adults, and being honestly really treated like you were an adult. They weren't babying you around. From that I then joined the National Youth Board, where I was one of the three representatives from the Northwest. I then went to national meetings at the headquarters in London, where I again shared opinions on NCS, but at a higher level. We met with the CEO several times.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was really quite fun actually. And did other things, so we would be invited to go on trips out, meet other people of NCS, other youth board leaders, and then from there I also did a podcast with NCS called Youth Rising by NCS. I did 2 seasons of that. I worked on that as presenter, researcher and also editor. I somehow ended up doing numerous roles. But yeah, that was, it sounds really silly, but NCS really changed my life, and everyone thinks I'm being so dramatic when I say it. But I honestly don't know where I'd be without NCS.
So tying into you saying it changed your life, how did that help you mentally, and how did it sort of change the way?
Yeah, so for my mental health, NCS was, a huge for me, especially during lockdown. I was really fortunate. I carried on my role through the National Youth Board, and actually further than it should have gone in the sense of the timescale, but they really open. I guess they all work with young people, it's predominantly a younger demographic of people who work for NCS, predominantly like 35 and under, but they're all really understanding of mental health.
So what other strategies have you used in the past to help your mental health that you don't mind sharing?
I think before I was saying about getting pen to paper, that probably is the most helpful method I've found that helps me. Sometimes, just drawing out a mind map, getting things down, how I feel, everything I need to get done. I like lists, lists of things. That makes me feel a lot more, maybe comfortable with things I need to get done. I can see it, it's all written there, and I can go, okay,
it's out of the head.
It's out the head, let's work through this list as it goes. Writing. I used to dance sometimes, just putting on a loud song and prancing around my room. Sometimes makes me feel like I've let something out. It's the serotonin, isn't it? It's letting everything out, and probably singing awfully in my car sometimes makes me feel that a little bit better. But it's just
we all do it.
It's just little things that I found to help me.
So as a member of the LGBTQ+ community, do you feel like that has had an impact on your mental health?
I think probably in ways I don't know. I think when I originally realised I was bisexual, it was definitely probably a bit of a shock to the system. I guess I didn't really know what it was growing up. You know, I was not necessarily shielded, but I didn't know a lot. I was quite vulnerable, if you will, in quotations, to the world around. So I think realising probably initially hurt my mental health, but I think now it only helps me. You know, it's you know, a superpower, if you will. It's a big part of my life that I would never take away. It's something I'm very confident about. I'm not afraid, you know, to tell people.
Yeah.
Whereas probably once upon a time when I was 16, 17, realising it was definitely not. It was something I probably shielded away from, if anything, and tried, you know, block everything out. You know, that's not real. You know, but now it's, you know, it's who I am. I think I'm very lucky that I realised, you know, probably at a younger age, that I am who I am, and you know, that's only a positive thing to take forward.
And that's probably why it's so important to have those conversations, because letting other people know that it is okay, it's completely fine, it's normal.
Definitely.
It's not this huge bad thing, taboo thing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So has coming out made any changes to the way you feel?
Yeah. Again, I say being older and finding out, you know, I think there's lots of resources out there now that weren't, you know, I'm not old, but I'm not of the younger generation who have, you know, all the access to TikTok and social media and Google, of just being able to, you know, search things and find out where things are, and, you know, maybe realising they're gay, bisexual, trans, however they feel. Being older, being, you know, 17 and finding out, I think made me realise, all these things that I've felt in the past, you know, and I've dismissed because, you know, I never thought they were legitimate or were a feeling I could have.
It starts slotting in.
Yeah. Suddenly everything starts making sense of, that's why this has happened, and this is why I feel this way. And I think, my mental health, I think initially declined, but I think from everything slotting into place and everything making sense slowly, it's just gotten better and better, and it's definitely, you know, highest it's probably been.
Oh, that's really nice. Good. So you said that you found out when you were 16, 17, so I'm imagining you didn't grow up knowing that you were bisexual, but from then to now, how's that impacted your mental health growing from that age to the age you are now? So coming out, I came out when I was about 18, it's only 3 years ago. It definitely made an impact on my life, positive, as much as it was, you know, probably one of the trickier things I've ever done. You know, I say very publicly now, you know, you don't have to come out, as much as it's something that I did. I think it's, you know, I have a wide range of people I know from doing NCS and families that live further afield that, you know, I don't see every day. For me, it was something that felt important to come out. But it's, I don't know, words. So from coming out, like we said before, everything kind of slotted into place. And again, it's only been a few years, but I think it's definitely, you know, only heightened it. I was speaking to some friends the other day where they went, I could never imagine you not being so open about your sexuality. And I think it's only through time of, you know, speaking to various people here and there, other friends maybe coming out, speaking to other people who are in the LGBTQ plus community, made me realise, you know, this is not something I need to be ashamed of. Can imagine that helps, you're helping other people as well by being open.
Yeah, I hope, I would like to think it does. And for me, it's, you know, it's not something I'm ashamed of anymore, never, and I hope it never would become, and if anything, I'm ashamed that I used to be ashamed of it. Like I said before, I guess it's my superpower. It's just, I guess it's part of my life, it's who I am. It's never something I would ever shy away from again, and, you know, people do say, like, I could never imagine you not being so open about it, and it's only because I was slowly, you know, open about it. I didn't, you know, I didn't realise when I was young.
They didn't see the background work.
No. But yeah, I was talking to another friend, a friend of a friend. He was 13 when he came out, and I knew him then. We were friends. And if anything, when he came out, he said, you know, I'm gay. And I think at the time I was realising that he was, if anything, my push. I was like, if he can be so confident about it, why can't I be so confident about it?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, he's out there, he's open, and I was like, I can do that. And they definitely don't realise that they're the reason why. But yeah, it's just, you know, if I can be open about it, why can't anybody else who wants to be open?
Oh, brilliant.